Hey guys, it's Rena. Today we're going to be making a ruffle top. So for this project we're just going to need some fabric and some elastics. I'm going to be using the fabric from an old blouse. So I'm going to take the blouse apart. So this blouse has two layers, a sheer piece and an inside fabric. So I'm actually just going to use both of them. You guys only need one layer of fabric. So here are the measurements for my front and back pieces, but you guys will probably have to alter the sizes to fit yourselves. I just created the pattern with wrapping paper. And we're just gonna trace and cut out the fabric pieces. I noticed how my pattern piece wouldn't fit, so I just folded it in half and then did an extra seam allowance on that folded edge. So I'm gonna just sew that together later. Here I sew the pieces together, and I have the extra sheer piece, and I'm just gonna sew those pieces together. Now you should have your front and back pieces. And I zigzagged all around the pieces, or you can use a serge and serge. Now with the darts, you trace the darts onto the fabric and you fold them together and then just sew. Now I'm gonna hem the top of the front, and so you're gonna just fold down the edges by like 1 centimeter, and then you're gonna pin and sew. And you're gonna do the same for the back, fold down 1 centimeter and sew. Now for the back, we're gonna do the elastic channels. So from the edge, measure 3.5 centimeters from both sides. And then measure the length between the marks that you placed. And mine was 32 centimeters. And I drew a line down from the 3.5 centimeters mark. So I think I'm going to create 3 channels of elastic. So I cut out 3 channels that are 34 centimeter by 3.5 centimeters. So here I'm going to fold in both sides to the center and do it to all of them, and then I ironed it down. Now we're gonna place the channels equally apart from each other and then pin it down. So you should have a centimeter that's like hanging out of the mark that we made earlier. So we're just gonna sew from there and then keep going down to the end of the mark. So this is how it should look when you sew that one end down. So we're just gonna sew the other end down as well. Have your first channel sewn down and do the same for the other two channels. For the elastic, I'm going to cut out 3 elastics that are 16 centimeters long. So we're going to get the elastic through the channels. So I'm using a safety pin here and then just pulling it through, and then using another safety pin to secure it at one end. When we get to the end, we're gonna grab the elastic and the channel that we had a centimeter left at the end, and then we're gonna sew that together. And then what you're gonna do after is that we're gonna just fold that into the channel. So we're gonna grab it and then just tuck it back in. And we're also gonna do the same for the other end of the channel, and then we're just gonna sew across. And do the same steps for the rest of the channels. Have the back, and then we're gonna grab the front, and then right sides together we're gonna sew the side seams together. So I did a top stitch at the side seams, but that's optional. And now for the straps. So for my straps, I measure 35 centimeters by 6 centimeters long. And we will need 4 pieces of the straps. So when you have your 4 straps cut out, so for the straps we're gonna fold them in half and then sew across. So do that to all 4 of them. And then we're gonna use a safety pin again and then turn them right sides. So and then I'm gonna just sew a top stitch on both sides of the straps. Now I'm just gonna roll in one end of the straps, and then we're gonna place it to where we want the strap to be, and then I'm gonna just sew that down. Also fold in 2 times on the other end of the strap so it has a clean end. Do the same for all 4 of the straps. For the ruffle, I measured a 106 centimeter by 7 centimeter ruffle, and my fabric wasn't long enough, so I cut out separate pieces, and then I'm just gonna sew it together. So here I'm gonna hand gather the ruffles. So for the ruffles, we're gonna grab one end and then sew it together, right sides together, and then also do it to the other end as well. So now we're gonna attach the ruffles to the top. So you're gonna go right sides to right sides together, and then so I'm gonna just pin down the two sides first and then go from there. So here I'm just gonna pull, gather, and then pin the gathers down to where I want it. When you're finished pinning all the way around the ruffle, so you're just gonna sew that down. Also, we're gonna hem the bottom of the ruffle. So you're just gonna roll it in twice and then sew. And now we're finished with our cute little ruffled top.